Hi James, Becky Leana here with Gray Owl Marketing. I know you're busy, so I'll keep this brief, but I did just want to show you 3 tips you can use today to bring in more customers to your business. Because oftentimes in the world of the internet, most local business owners are just too busy running their business to keep up with how the internet can really work for them and benefit their company, right? So I do have your website pulled up here. I do love how green and beautiful it looks with this smiling face here and opportunity to just go ahead and put in your information and start seeing prices. That's really nice to see when a customer comes to your website right away. It's a nice, sleek website, but the first thing that I will say that's important if you really want to optimize with Google is you need to have at least 1,500 words on your home page. Google thinks that content is king because content is a key factor in Google's formula when they decide which sites to rank higher than others. And Google likes to see high quantity of information, but it also likes to see high quality information because you want your business to show up on page one when your customers are searching for you on Google, right? So what I did is I put your website in a tool that I use here called Ahrefs. There's free tools out there that do similar things, and you can see your website here. This is a snapshot or a dashboard of your company's online presence. And as you can see here, you are getting some traffic. This is probably to your national site, and you can see you're ranking for some organic keywords. So if we take a look, if we think about what content to put on your page, homemade weed killer is getting searched quite a bit. You're ranking #1, but this is not a buyer intent keyword. This is kind of more of a national word. Lawn maintenance near me is a national word. You're ranking #2 for that. But you want to think about local terms like here, like Florida native plants, still not a buyer intent keyword. You're ranking #1 for that. I'm just scrolling down here to try to see buyer intent keywords that we can point out to you. But a lot of these that you're ranking for aren't bad terms to rank for. It's just people aren't necessarily ready to make a purchase when they're searching for those key terms. So you want to think about that when you're building your site's content. Pick 2 or 3 keywords that have buyer intent and use them in your website and throughout your pages because this is a critical factor. Another thing you can think about, and I think you might have, are some service pages so that you can, kind of start ranking for the different areas that you serve in your business. So just to give you an example, I did put in a search term here called lawn maintenance Atlanta, and this term is getting searched 60 times a month, and it has a traffic potential of 800 times a month, depending on how you use your terminology. So that's 800 customers a month that you're missing out on because you're not ranking #1 in this search term, right? And when you think about how people search online, they'll put in a keyword and they'll hit search, and the first thing that comes up are these ads. There are people that will click on the first thing they see and get to these ads. Ads are a great way to fill in some gaps in your strategy, but you do have to be careful because if not done correctly, they can be a money pit. But a lot of people will scroll right past the ads and come to this section here, which is we call the map pack, and it ranks the top 3 companies that Google just really feels confident to put in front of searchers. And then people will further scroll past that and go down to this section, which we call the organic search. It would be advantageous to try to rank in this area as well as this area because people do search differently. However, about 40% of all traffic, these 3 companies here get about 40% of all traffic. So when you're thinking about that and you're saying, well, how can I get my companies ranking up there, right? Well, there's lots of things that you can do, but one key factor is your business Google profile. So I did pull that up here, and this is your business profile. You really want to grow and build this profile. There's a number of ways you can do that, and I'll show you some of them. The first thing is Google reviews. So you can see you do have quite a bit of reviews here with a 3.5-star rating, so not too bad. But you do want to continue to optimize this and get as many reviews as you can, ideally 5-star reviews, so you can start building that positive reputation. The next thing I'll talk about with the Google Business Profile is what we call the NAP, which is your name, address, and phone number. Google likes to see this in multiple places, in multiple different directories, all throughout the web. So your website, this profile, if you have a Facebook page, You want to put it on Yelp or Yellow Pages, White Book, City Star, and so on, lots of directories like that. But the critical thing that you need to think about here is making sure that it is consistent and it matches exactly the same, because Google wants to see that when people are searching on these different platforms, the exact same information is coming up. It is a computer, so it's looking for an exact match. The last thing I'll say is about pictures, and this applies to pictures on your website as well as pictures on your profile. You want to think about saving those pictures as buyer intent keywords. So for example, you want to save it as lawn maintenance Atlanta and then pop it on here so that people know what your services are. And because you probably service multiple locations, when you're doing your fabulous work and you take a picture of it, you want to use geotags in the location that you did that service so that Google knows where you're doing stuff, because Google really wants to see not only the type of work you're doing by using those keywords, but also where you're doing it by using those geotags. And that way, when people are searching for similar things, your company is going to show up, right? And that's really important. Lastly, again, if you're thinking about how do I get in this spot here, the last tip I'll give you is what's really important is to think about your company's online reputation or your site authority. Because you can see here when we search for this key term, lawn maintenance Atlanta, your site's not coming up number 1. It's not coming up number 2, number 3. It's not even coming up on this first page right here, right? So you want to think about your business reputation, and that's a key factor. And, this is where you want to rank, right? You want to be here. And so what you can look at is right here. This is a numerical value of your online reputation. We do like to see this number above 20, so that's good. You're above 20, ideally in the 30s or 40s. And you also want to see a 1-for-1 ratio with this UR and DR number. And how you get this reputation is by referring domains and backlinks. So again, you probably have a sister site that's pushing multiple referring domains, pushing almost 60,000 backlinks to your site. And you can see majority of your referring domains are what they call relevant domains, because not all referring domains are created equal. They really want to see relevant ones pointing back to your site, which is giving you this strength number here. So on the surface here, this doesn't look too bad, but again, when we put in keywords like lawn maintenance Atlanta, your company is still not coming up. This Atlanta Lawn Care Service Company is your number 1 competitor in that space. And so I did pull up their website. Again, not too bad, very similar. They do have some more content on here, but not nearly as much as Google likes to see. So you could definitely optimize your page and even put even more content than them and kind of blow them out of the water. And this is just an interesting side-by-side of I put their business and this is their dashboard compared to yours. So you have a higher site authority than they do, especially with the DR number there. You have a lot less, you have a lot more backlinks than them. They have a lot less than you, but they're getting some organic traffic. Again, I'm assuming that this traffic is probably from a sister site, a mother site, and this organic traffic is being pushed by these 22 referring domains that the system is finding relevant. So again, there are some tweaks that you can make to your site to get you ranking on number 1 today on Google. And just to summarize what I went over, content is king, quantity and quality. You want to think about your citations and your business profile here and optimizing that with consistency, and then thinking about having the relevant backlinks so that you can make sure that your site is hitting your target audience. And if you implement these strategies today, you can be number 1 on Google. You can use these strategies yourself. I'm totally fine with that. That's cool. However, if you want to be more effective and want to save yourself some time, you can call me and we can set up a time to chat. Once again, my name is Becky Leana with Gray Owl Marketing, and my contact information is in the email. I do hope you find this information valuable, and have a great one.